back to my channel, Planty Princess 92. My name's Ashley, and today I am doing an update video on my Aglaonema Pictum Tricolor. I will link up at the top the description of the first video I did on this plant. I did a full care guide video and told you a little bit about where this plant is from and all that. When I first got this plant, it had 3 leaves and then got a 4th. Now it has 1, 2, 3, 4, it has 5 and a 6th leaf coming in, and also 2 flowers. Now, although the flowers aren't anything too magnificent, it still is a very rewarding accomplishment to have this plant in bloom, because anytime a plant is in bloom, that means you are doing something right and your plant is as happy as can be. What I am amazed about though is that there are 2 flowers coming off of 1 spike. I have another Aglaonema and it has 3 stalks in it, and there has only ever been 1 flower coming off of each stalk at a time. So I'm really amazed and feel so proud that I've taken such good care of this plant that it was able to put 2 out from 1 stalk. So I'm going to show you the foliage again. This is the 5th leaf that came out. As you can see, the texture and the pattern to these leaves are really just so stunning. This is one of my favorite plants. And then this is the 6th leaf that is unfurling. As you can see as well, the pattern is just as beautiful as all the others. Now, if you can tell the difference between, we'll say this one and this one, since this is the newest one aside from the 6th one that's coming up, but you can see the difference in darkness. These do darken up a lot once they, have been here for a while, and you can really see that the silver is a lot more pronounced, which is really neat. So here are the 2 flowers. I have one that has opened up and one that hasn't opened up yet. Now the flowers are where the Aglaonemas are a fruiting plant. So the fruits do develop at the base of the flower, which is then where the seed would develop from, obviously inside the fruit. When you open up, I don't want to do it because I'm hoping that this will fruit, so I don't want to, normally I would, cut it off or take it apart, but because I'm trying to get seeds from this, I don't want to disturb the flower and open it up. But at the very base of this spathe, I guess you would call it, because it is kind of like a peace lily type of flower, at the very base of this white part, there are bigger round little balls that are attached to the bottom. And those do grow to become the fruit. And when they're ready and ripe, when they are red, they probably get the size of maybe like a dime, probably not bigger than a penny. So they do get a little decent sized. But then when they're ripe, you cut them off, you harvest them, and you then can take the seeds and sow the seeds and hopefully grow another Aglaonema Pictum Tricolor. So this was a requested video to do an update on this plant. The first video I filmed did really well, got a decent amount of views. So I definitely wanted to go ahead and fulfill that request, do the update video, show you how my Aglaonema is doing right now. It is a very fast grower. Like I said, I've probably had this for a few months now, and it's already put out 2 new leaves and 2 flowers. So in the little amount of time that I had it, the few months I've had it, it's put out the 2 leaves, 2 flowers, and it really grows pretty fast. Every time it put out another leaf, the other leaf was already starting to come up. And then when that leaf came up, the flowers were already starting to come up. So it is like right after I've been getting leaf after leaf after flower. So this really is a nice grower. I'm gonna say or assume that if it's put in the right conditions, because obviously every plant has the line, a very fine line of whether it's in correct conditions or poor conditions for that plant's needs, wants, and likes. This plant does like a little bit of a higher humidity. I do have this in a grow tent. I started off keeping this in my grow tent with that clear throw cover over it. I do now though have it in the Vivo Sun grow tent where it gets a lot more light and a stable humidity. Because that grow tent with the clear cover didn't have any ventilation, I was constantly having to open the door, close the door, open the door, close the door. Now I just leave it open because I realized just leaving it open, it stays at a stable humidity of around 70%. But prior to that, when this was still in there, I was always opening it and closing it. So it was switching humidity a lot, going to 90 to 70 to 90 to 70 and everywhere in between. Obviously it didn't bother this plant too much. I don't think this is too much of a finicky plant. It's really easy care. I water when she is fully dry because I am so scared to overwater this girl. So whenever I go to water her, I'll test her if she's dry and I want to water it. I wait a couple more days, test her again if she's still dry, which why wouldn't she be? But I'm like a helicopter parent over this plant. So I test her again. If she's still dry, which she is, I wait another couple days and then I go ahead like the third time when I think that it's time to water her, I water her. Because these plants are a little more on the pricey side, I am like so scared to overwater her. She's doing so great and I've had really great success with that frantic method of watering. But I do give her obviously lots of bright indirect light. This plant does so well with artificial lighting, I will say that. At first, this plant was in that clear grow tent in the bright room with the 2 east, 1 south, and 1 north facing window. So it was in a bright lit room with natural sunlight, but it was further away. So I don't really think it was probably in a medium lighting setting as far as the natural light goes. Other than that, it was pretty much fully getting artificial light the whole time and was pushing out all these leaves and bloomed for me. So I would say this plant does do very, very well in artificial lighting for sure. So this is a great plant to get if you want something a little more tropical, a little more exotic, but don't have a lot of windows or don't have a lot of space where you get a lot of bright indirect light. This is a good one to get for a grow light. And I just have one of those cheap grow light strips from Amazon, nothing too expensive, maybe like 30 bucks, and that did it for this one. I would definitely say this is a plant for a beginner. It's really easy with little to no care effort. I would say the biggest thing is just to make sure that you do not overwater, as she is very prone to root rot. And make sure you're providing lots of bright indirect light, whether that be through natural lighting or artificial lighting. Either or for this girl, it will do it. I think that's about everything. If you're interested in seeing the full care guide for this plant, like I said, I already left that up at the top at the beginning of this video. Go ahead, click that, check that one out. I hope you enjoyed seeing the update of how well this beautiful lady grew. I can't wait till she gets a little bigger. I'm super excited to propagate, so I will definitely be making a video on that one. Thank you guys again for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're interested in the content I provide. And as always, every plant's a princess. Bye!